Hey guys, it's Brandon Montour here, and you're listening to Missin Curfew.
Obie, our boys at GoodLife, baby.
You're a beauty with the old Monte Cristo. Updogg, I got the GoodLife little hoodie on here. Roll the sleeves up, National League style. Little hoodie, it's nice, buddy. These guys know what they're doing.
I mean, look at my tarp. The screen really pops
It
my
pops,
eyes.
baby.
It makes my eyes pop.
The
Doesn't
stuff is
pop my
unbelievable.
eyes.
So
It
you
sure
gotta
is.
check it out.
It sure is. Comes in the mail, comes quick, efficient. Use the promo code Curfew20 on GoodLifeClothing.com. Still working out how to get this to Canada. I'm telling you, my boys up there, I've been saying here, I will do this transfer. You just order it to my house. I'll ship it up to you. That's what we do for our listeners.
Yeah.
Jimmy Scoops on the East Coast. He gets it right to his door in Boston, and it makes him look fresh there on the East Coast.
I'm loving these GoodLife clothing I've been getting lately. And like I've said before, this clothes is getting people to look at me more often. I can walk up to the club. They got all types of college shirts because, you get sick and tired of wearing those standard golf shirts. GoodLife has it all for you.
Good point on the collared shirts for those boys out there that maybe lack a collared shirt in the closet. They just sent me one, a white golf shirt, breathable, but not a golf shirt. You can dress it up. You can wear it to a function. Check them out. Their stuff's legit. Cool little collared shirts for the boys.
Just like butter, baby. That's www.goodlifeclothing.com. Promo code Curfew20, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a fresh new episode of Missin Curfew. I'm Shane O'Brien, coming to you from Hall Pass Media in Newport Beach with my boy, the Updogg. Updogg, new little intro, cool little young band, fans of the pod. That was a good little start to the show for us.
It sure was, yeah. Yeah, we like to support fans of our pod, Obes. And Painted Young, a three-piece rock band from New Jersey, consisting of Chris Santos, Bailey Hand, and Ray McGear. These guys, they got a good sound. Obes, alternative rock band. Anytime someone hits us up to share some light on their music and their art form, I mean, that's what we're all about here at Missin Curfew. So shout out to those boys. We're going to play that song in its entirety at the end of our show for the fans who are interested, and support them on Spotify or Apple iTunes.
Yeah, I listened this morning when you sent it over to me. I was on my way to the pool, having a little coffee, got me fired up. So congrats to them. Thanks for supporting the pod. And Uppy will take care of our listeners because they like to take care of us. So thank you guys.
Absolutely.
Before we bring in the Scoopsy on the East Coast, Updogg, our original episodes from Action Park Media have been put back up. So to our listeners and our fans, thank you for the patience with it. To Kevin Collin, Action Park Media, thank you. I got to be honest, I haven't spoke to Cons a whole lot over the process, so it is what it is. I know you still feel, still one of our buddies. But anyways, we got our shows back. To Hall Pass and Mark Prince, thanks for getting them back. And Uppy, just your thoughts to kind of close the final chapter with APM. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's nice to have them back, and it's nice for our fans to be able to go back and listen to them, and shine light on the laughs that we had, the stories that were told, the guests that we had. We had a great guest list. We put our heart and soul into starting this podcast together, Obes, and I think APM and Cons were a big part of that, and the transition. It was difficult to get those shows and to highlight them on our new platform, but they're there. So fans, jump in, listen to them. You're not going to find one in particular episode because we didn't put it in on purpose. It was Who the Fuck is Larry Flowers?
Who the fuck is Larry Flowers? Flowers?
We took that one right off.
Yeah,
no, we're kidding, but it's up there somewhere in the cloud. We'll try to find it at some point.
Yeah, Uppy, honestly, our listeners, check them out. I forgot, we had a pretty good run of guests there. Loop, Shaddy, Getzy, Carcillo, Richards. It goes on and on. So check them out. Cons, Action Park, thank you. It's good to move on here. So
Scoopser.
What's up, Scoopsy?
Boys, what's up? I am fresh off the golf course, and today was a good day. I won some skins, and the thing that's even better, I was able to get off the tee with the driver, so things are looking up this summer, boys. I got to get out to Cali and show you guys the swing.
Listen, first of all, Updogg, I like the Monte Cristo cigar. That Broadway, that right there is a fucking National League cigar. Our boy Mike Chandy, Dennis Shannon gave us that one, but Monte Cristo, if you ever want to splurge, get one of those. That's nice, isn't it?
Sure is, baby.
Broadway, good news. I know you're having a baby, but we are officially allowed to have guests back at Big Canyon. So now it's definitely worth your while to come out here, get in the studio, stay with me or Uppy or whatever, and we'll play some golf at Big Canyon because it's open, baby.
Oh, yeah. I've already ran it by the wife. She's on board. We have a little guy. Doesn't mean life stops. So we got a podcast we're taking care of, and I'm looking forward to getting back out there and doing some in-studio live shows with you guys.
Our course is in absolute mint shape right now too. They tore it up 2 weeks ago, Obie. Stuck a little. They tractored it up, aerated everything. But man, is it flush right now? It's as good. It's as good as I've seen. Sunday morning. I mean, this is actually a great story, which I got to tell. But Sunday morning, get up for the 7:00 round. Isabel was up early, so it didn't matter. I went to bed actually early Saturday because I got so drunk Friday night with Obie, Tom Doherty's birthday.
Fuck, we got happy birthday, TD.
Yeah, happy birthday, Teddy. And so I get first hole, have a quick breakfast, a little coffee and Bailey's, get to the first tee, smack one down there like 20 yards in front of the green, duff a chip. Fuck. Okay, whatever. Duff another chip. Okay, now the fucking wires are starting to cross because I was feeling pretty good. I go to putt the ball, which was for par now, off the green, and I blow it past the hole 20 yards, and all the guys are just like, oh god. I look at my putter. I'm like, no, I can't toss that. There's a lake to my right. I can't toss that. But sand wedge, I could very well toss this fucking thing because this is just a normal 60-degree wedge. No, I can't touch it. Take my hat off, just launch my hat like 20 yards into the lake. And it's just sitting there floating down in the water. And the guys were just dying.
The old hat trick, eh? You're like, fuck it, I don't need the hat.
I've been getting so much heat from, our fans on Twitter and from the story Hartsey told about me taking the divot out of the green and me tossing putters onto the road. And I'm not about that, Opes.
Okay.
I'm not about that anymore. I'm changed, man.
Wow.
I'm just going to start tossing free golf hats in the water.
Hey, listen, it's a step in the right direction. I kind of like when you throw your clubs and everything. It makes me laugh. But Scoopsy, how was your putting? You were talking about your putting before. You're kind of in one with the putter?
My putting is still atrocious. Actually, you guys play like the birdies, the sandies, and greenies.
Atrocious.
I lost 3 greenies today from 3 putts, and I don't understand. I got to get back. Maybe get Max Homer to come to the East Coast and give me a lesson because my putting is honestly, it's horrible. I don't even know how to fix it. It's so bad.
He'll be out there. Listen, putting's hard. He'll be out there for the old TPC at Boston, the FedEx Cup. Yeah, he'll be out there for that. Broadway, the putter, you know what? I think it's just about getting the right buzz. When I got a good tequila buzz going, I can see the line. I fucking pour them in. But it's hard. Even pro golfers think it's hard, Hazy. So, shout out to Max Homa. Graham Dillette came on for Masters Week. It was huge for us. Graham Dillette, I guess, broke the record for eating egg sandwiches at fucking Augusta.
Was he going for it?
Oh, Bob Weeks' Instagram. But I mean,
man.
they had empty wrappers, and at the end, like, Grambo was just like,
was he trying to set a record? He must have.
I think he was trying to beat Bob Weeks' record. So I think he nipped him by 1 or something.
That's
but
some
it looked
fire
like
ass in the making.
Yeah.
That's a tough day.
It looked like he ate like 13 of them or something. 12 was the final.
Hopefully you're not on that Air Canada flight home. Holy shit.
That's a stinky roll. Whatever. Imagine that. Imagine Graham will fly home and one buddy's like, yeah, I was behind Graham Dillette. The guy was farting egg salad sandwiches down my throat all night. Updogg, what were your thoughts on the Masters? You go first before I vent on my experience on the Masters.
You know what, Masters? We have so much hype for it, boys. And Justin Rose came out swinging. What he did on Thursday, I talked to Max actually on his way home. I asked him for one of those green sweaters that he had on in one of those pictures. I'm like, hey, you mind bringing back a couple sweaters for the boys? I'm a large, Obie's double X, Jimmy's an XL. And he's like, fuck, I'm already on the bird, but I would have if you told me. Anyway, I was like, buddy, how did it play? He's like, Thursday was so hard, right? And that was like that should like make it or break it for the field, for the tournament. You're getting your swing and your short game down. And I'm like, buddy, what Rose did was crazy. He said what Justin Rose did Thursday was fucking crazy.
I thought I guess could be.
He didn't hit a bad shot. Yeah. It was tee to pin every hole. Sunday I got lit up on the course. We all went back to Teddy's to watch the Masters, the final, and man, it was so many moments on the back nine. You thought things were going to get close, and then I'll throw out my early milk carton to Xander Schauffele for just.
Chunking a fucking 8-iron.
You got him. You have your foot down on fucking the guy's neck for a bit. You play so good. You get back. He made a double early, and he battles his way back.
I know.
Back nine, 16 with the hole in one pin. All you need to do there is make a par and you're one shot back going to 17. It was unfortunate, but shout out to the champ Matsuyama. If you can hear me or understand me, then you'll know that you played English, unbelievable. He played good.
He played great.
He played really good.
Hazy, where'd you take it in?
I was so pissed up, like you said, with Shoffley, because they had that. He started the day off with like a 6-shot lead, and he gets it down to 2 or 3. And then that par 3, you're just hoping him to throw one out to the right and have, like with all the pros said, funnel in. But he takes dead aim at this flag and just puts one in the water. And all the excitement for me on Sunday was just drained. But it was fun watching Matsuyama being the first Japanese guy to win a major. And, he was just steady Eddie, but he was playing really safe down the stretch. To make that a one-shot win, I thought he was going to run away with it for a while.
Boys, I think the fucking turning point, the Missin Curfew turning point, was Saturday when it rained. Because that course was starting to get cooking. And it rained, which I was trying to hope it wouldn't rain, because I can't remember a Masters where it didn't rain before, it wasn't soft. It rains. Matsuyama comes out, and the shot he hit on the 15 on the par 3 to make eagle, if it doesn't rain, that ball doesn't stop. He stripes it all the way in. I think personally that's when he won. He hung on Sunday. Hazy, he did play smart. When he hit the fucking 4-iron on 15, I'm like, why doesn't he just lay it up to a number and fucking knock a wedge on? Like,
but how excited were you to put
somebody tackle this guy? Like
Tin Cup, seen a guy hit it in that fucking water before.
Like Tin Cup, someone tackle him. He rinses it over the back, and then you gotta love Sir Nick Faldo Updogg. He's like, well, he'll be lucky to get he could hit this other one in the water. I'm like, well, this could be the meltdown, but. To him, he played well. Justin Thomas, you fucked me. You made triple on 13. You fucked me on Saturday. And Spieth, I got rinsed in our pool. How did you make out in our Masters pool? Cody Leibo, congratulations. C-Note won our friends one, our Lair Spin one.
He did. You know what? I didn't do good in that one, Obie, but I did do good in the DraftKings $4 million one.
Well,
I was eighth out of about 1,800, I think, max. It was huge, but anyway, 18,000. I was 8th going into Sunday. I didn't have a chance actually to win. I woke up and I look and it's the DraftKings gives you the little trophy that you're in the mix on one of the events. So I'm like, oh, let's tune in. I'm like 8th, and then the winner there was 2 prizes, one for 17 grand, the next one for 17 grand. But you got a trip into the DraftKings golf playoff tournament. Which might be only a certain amount of guys, obviously. Yeah. But then you have a chance at winning the $4 bananas. But man, I was 8th going into that. I think I finished 20th. I got my money back.
That would have been the end of the Updogg of the podcast, eh?
Hey boys, I'm a fantasy sports.
Hey, good run, boys. I'll take that $4 million on the top I got. See you fucking later.
Hey, the question I have for you guys is, what does Dustin Johnson do the entire time? Missing a cut? Does he stick around, or was he?
I can tell you what he was fucking doing.
Does he take a PJ and go somewhere else?
You know Probably what? He's Miami. From South Carolina. I bet you. Good point. I bet you jumped on his bird, went back to South Carolina, and then flew back Sunday to give out the green jacket.
He did not want to be there. You see him give that jacket and just walk off camera? It had been all of 30 seconds.
I can't believe he missed the cut, but it was a great tournament. To Hideki Matsuyama, congratulations. I guess it's big for Asian golf, so.
He also will probably carry the Japanese flag this year at the
light the torch. I heard
light the torch.
Oh wow!
Probably do it all with the green jacket on.
Wow,
it's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Hit a couple rubber tugs, maybe.
Why not?
You take the jacket right in there. Boys, we talk about coaching a lot, and I thought this tied in with Masters Week to wrap it up here. Sheldon Keefe obviously came in for Babs. This is what he said about the Leafs change and Leafs travel. Sheldon Keefe, the biggest factor is probably the Masters Sunday. It's probably as big a day as there is on the calendar for a lot of our guys, and wanted to make sure our travel didn't disrupt their ability to watch the Masters. Now, Updogg, I thought, this is a guy I want to play for. Now, throughout my career, we've asked for certain things, and maybe in my coach's defenses in your court, maybe we were asking for too much at times, right? It was more, can we stay an extra day in LA or near? But I thought, hey, you got a great team, good locker room, good on Sheldon Keefe here.
Totally. Yeah. Bob Hartley would have made you fucking practice on Christmas Day.
Bob Hartley, he would have. Fuck Christmas, dude. Fucking the mountain.
So, no, you know what? We've all played for coaches, and this goes both ways, right? You all play for coaches that, Thanksgiving, you get maybe a light skate, and then it's full turkey day with the day off tomorrow, or come in for a light skate. This is like the Masters is for most hockey players, we all love golf. I speak for probably 95% of us. We all love golf. It's a national holiday, Masters Sunday. It's like it should be anyway. And it's nice to see someone come out and even just to explain it. He shouldn't even have to explain what he's doing with his team. Like it's just because it's Toronto media. But the fact that he comes out and says, "Yeah, I want to watch it too. You think I want to be at the rink with these guys? Let's let's team parade, set up shop, and drink some green beers." And it was good.
Eat a couple egg salad sandals.
Yeah, I love that quote, and he did that for the guys. I remember my first year when I was with Chicago. Quinville did something similar. We were in Dallas, and we had a whole Masters team draft. I got to get paired up with Kaner. He was sponsoring our team that year. And the room was awesome. We did the draft, and you sit there with a bunch of beers in the room. And it's kind of great time for the team to bond and laugh at each other with some of the picks, especially with a year like COVID. There's really nothing to do. So that's great on Sheldon Keefe to let his guys have a day like that.
I just think it goes a long way. You got a good team. Listen, if Austin Matthews wants to watch the fucking Masters, the bird is either leaving early or it's leaving later, right? Like keep this dressing room going, and we're gonna get to some of the things they added in a little bit later. But to Sheldon Keefe, good on you, man. I just thought Uppy, that's a guy you want to play for, and if the boys want to watch the Masters, it's not a big deal, right? That's why it's a private bird. She can leave when she wants, which you know all about these days, don't you?
So do you, my friend.
I actually, honestly, Uppy, I gotta apologize. I was chirping about private planes last week, and I take just as many free ones as you.
Yeah.
So
I don't. Have you been in an airport since COVID?
No, I don't.
Think you have.
I'm not taking my. No, I have. Me and my girl flew commercial to first class, but commercial to somewhere. But I have.
But then PJ'd on the way home.
Yeah, Todd pickup shout out. So. Boys, let's get into some hockey here. Our boy Princey, Missin Curfew. I mean, it's fights, it's hits, it's fucking rock'em sock'em hockey on there.
I'm surprised he didn't find any porns.
That's next. Hey, by the way, how funny was that VR?
Oh yeah, it was great.
It's like
what a clip.
It's like when Uppy. I don't watch porn all the time, but when I do, I wear them in VR goggles. I was laughing. So the Reaves hit Updogg. No suspension, no penalty. I believe, right, Broadway? The no penalty on the
Nothing.
Nothing. It's trolley tracks.
Trolley tracks. Got a lot of heat on our Missin Curfew instead. To our listeners, thank you. Keep it coming. If you like something, don't like something, we're reading it. So keep them humming. Uppy, fucking good clean hit, I thought.
Good hit.
Yeah.
I see that hit all the
Great
time when I
hit.
played with him.
Yeah.
And that's why he's a strict enforcer that has the ability to change the dynamic. And when I say of a game, I mean like a series when hockey gets really important. And you want a guy like that on your team. And it proves that in hockey and in the NHL, there's still that intangible of you got to let these guys play. There still needs to be hitting. That was as clean of a check as a defenseman coming up with your head down. Pick up your head. And, it wasn't a shot right to the jaw from the side. It was straight on. You put yourself, in Ryan Reaves' position, you put yourself through the guy. You give yourself up because you might get hurt, but you just hit the guy as hard as you can. We need that hit in hockey. Revo's, he has been a
repeat offender.
He has, but not to the point where it's completely dirty all the time, right?
No. He plays hard. He's honest. He said that when he came on to us. Yeah.
Yep. And, if it's someone else, and I know we spoke about this, but if it's someone else, if it's Tom Wilson, if it's like Zach Ronaldo, if it was Rafi Torres, these guys are probably getting sussy 10 or more.
If it was Tom Wilson, he's
right
fucking done.
He's done. He's done. And Wilson plays still as straight up as Revo. It's still I would say they're both those unicorn type of players that can still hit, fight, skate, and you put them out there, you don't have to worry about them.
Yeah.
But, it was good to just see that the league step back and go, man, that's just hockey. That's hockey, and we got to keep it like that.
I agree.
Yeah, that hit, like you guys think I'm crazy because I was so against the Tom Wilson hit.
Yeah, I do think you're crazy.
I think this is a completely different hit. He's the defenseman skating up the ice. The play is completely in front of him. He has to know Ryan Reaves is on the ice because I think every guy in the building knows when Ryan Reaves is on the ice. He makes a pass. He kind of admires it, and Reaves blows him up. There was nothing wrong with the hit. The only thing that sucks is I think the kid got a knee injury. No one ever wants to get a knee injury, but that's just from getting run over by a truck.
Yeah. How was his nose feeling after? Because I think his shoulder was just like...
It was a hyperextension of the kneecap.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Is he? Yeah. Has he come back? Because you could tell he limped off.
You don't want to see that.
That's what happens, though, when you go straight through the guy, right? Your knees click. And
especially with the big Reaves train coming at you. But Broadway, listen, the hits are different. I still don't think the Tom Wilson was as bad as everyone thought it was. This Ryan Reaves one is a great, clean body check. I'm just saying if Tom Wilson does hit a guy like that, chances are they're going to ding him. And if it's right or wrong, is Tom Wilson been perfect? Absolutely not. But I think you got to be careful saying that one's all right and this one's not. I don't think either one's. I think Reaves is 100% clean. I think Wilson's is a touch dirty, but I don't know if he deserved. What, he end up getting 7 games or what?
Yeah, but Carlos still hasn't come back from that hit.
Yeah, that's true. You gotta weigh that factor
hasn't
in.
Played. Like I just think, like you said, like with Wilson, when we talked about it, Carlo has no idea he's coming, and the hit was right to the head. This kid's staring at Reaves. Like, you got to put the onus on yourself when you're staring at a guy coming right at you.
Yeah. No, you're probably right. I mean, listen, I think the Reaves hit's awesome. Reaver, good hit. Tom Wilson's agree to disagree, boys. But that's a hit we need in our game, Uppy. And to our listeners, keep talking about it. We love it here at Missin Curfew. So, Updogg, we had a good chuckle before we get into the trade deadline about Patrik Laine's goal, which would have been Monday night. We're recording here too. Fuck, where's that been all year? Like someone put a firecracker up his ass.
What happened? You had this GM on yesterday. GM, sorry.
No, and I had Jarmo. How do you say it? Nicolarnen?
I wrote it down.
Jarmo. Nicolarnen.
Jarmo Jarkalainen.
Yarkalainen.
Anyways,
Fuck, Finn's tough language.
Good guy. Basically, and what did
Great
he say?
guy.
Did he say that there's...
I said to him, listen, Jarmo, my question is, I played for Torts. I love John Tortorella. I thought he handled Patrik Laine maybe not the right way early on, right? Like, you bench him. Like, the kid just went through quarantine. He got traded, obviously had something in Winnipeg. And Uppy and Scoopsy, he basically said, we have a culture here. It starts with me, and it's enforced with John Tortorella. We don't make exceptions for any player, and that's not just Torts, that's me as a GM. So basically saying, he then went on to say, John Tortorella's future, they'll talk about in the summertime. But he says it starts with me too, it's not just Torts.
Yeah.
So
yeah, well, he did have a rocket ship stuck up his butthole.
Fuck was he going?
He flew down the ice. I'd never seen him skate that fast, actually. And I played against him for his first 3 years in the league, and he was a guy that, he's big booted, had the good shot, could skate and protect the puck. But like, he literally, if you watch him before he picks up the puck behind the net, he does the old 10-8 fucking with the feet.
Opens the hips up or no?
Yeah, and he curls behind the net almost like that. It was crazy when he picked the puck up, kept his speed, blew past everyone, comes in, and when you think, and that's just a goal scorer's touch, but just when you think like you got to throw like a soft backhander on net, he just drops his shoulder and runs the goalie over and goes forehand into an open net. It's such a goal scorer's goal, and something that probably might spark this kid for the rest of the year. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I think that's the thing, is he's showing that he can do this, and it's when he doesn't do it, he's not an effective player. So he needs to figure out and needs to buy into these systems. Sometimes we gave this kid too much of a break, but he's just not buying in because he has it inside of himself to do this type of shit. You just got to see it more often. It sucks when you see this kid go games without scoring and not make an impact in the game, especially if he has speed like that.
Yeah, he made the mistake too of showing that he can do it. Right?
Yeah, that was my.
Every coach is like, you just proved to me that you can do this. So now Torts would be like, how you didn't take a fucking hard straight all night, you big Finn? Yeah. Like, what's going on? So that, and Uppy, you make a great point on how he took it to the net. And I watched it. I'm thinking weak side D. There is back in the day, I am dropping my shoulder and Laine, and I am not letting him get to that far side of the paint. This D man put his stick out like that. -1. Have a seat, kid. But to Laine, I picked you to be better in that trade than Pierre Dubois. It hasn't turned out that way. But Updogg, as a player, when a coach has that film on you, he's going to have to do it more often.
Yeah, and he, Patrik Laine, he comes off, maybe it was he scored a goal early in the game too, an absolute rocket from the blue line, Cheddar, that just kind of maybe got him going, and then he's like, all right, I'm feeling it tonight. Now I can go in and, where maybe he doesn't pick up the puck before and look to go end to end because one little mistake and it's, hey, have a seat, kid.
Yeah.
What did I tell you? We get the pucks deep in this team. Pass the puck, keep your feet moving. All the fucking stupid intangibles that the coaches tell you. He was like, no, it's my night. I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna bury everyone, score a sick goal. It's gonna be on highlights for the rest of the year. How are you?
No.
That's got to be the best feeling though, as a player, when you get your cookie early on in the game. I felt like those games, like this is my night. This is gonna be a career night. So, if the kid scores early, he's just trying to pound his stats.
Yeah, for me, it was never really goals, but just an apple as a D, man. You get an apple early, you're like, fucking right. So I got $1+ in the bank. I got an apple. I'm high step next thing
take some risk now.
Yeah, throw a backhand sauce, turn it over, and your night's over. But Patrik Laine, that fucking goal, so good for you. Updogg, we're going to do our boys at GoodLife, our little segment here, GoodLife trade deadline. It just passed on Monday, obviously. I got this
Speaking of
GoodLife hoodie
GoodLife,
on. Yeah. I'm sweating a bit, but it's nice.
We got our care package in the mail
Yeah, thanks to the boys at GoodLife. I wish I would have known that before.
before you load it up.
Yeah,
That's
that's
okay.
Before you gave them the whole
You
Amex
can never
card?
go wrong. I
Their
mean,
stuff's so sick, man.
yeah, and having different colors and different options. It's starting to get hot out now, so you
Yeah.
might have a hoodie and it chills down, and you might have a couple different tees to switch into.
It threw me a nice collared, like, not a golf shirt you golf in, but a shirt you could wear to Big Canyon for dinner. And I got to be honest, my closet lacks that. Like a dressed up, collared, kind of breathable linen shirt. So check that out on the fucking website.
Yeah, sweet.
It's pretty cool. So, boys, it was kind of an exciting trade deadline, more than we thought. Let's start off with probably the biggest name, Taylor Hall. Hazy, we'll start over with you. We had said that he would probably go for a second in a prospect, and that's exactly what he went for. And there was a lot of chatter yesterday on Monday that they couldn't believe they didn't get a first round pick. Hazy, I thought this was a good deal for both sides. For Kevin Adams, I think this is the most he could have got.
Yeah, I think Taylor Hall's value was exactly what it was, a prospect and a second round pick. He hasn't played well. Like he honestly, he's looked very disinterested the last 2 years after having that MVP type season. And you know what? This trade could be a win for both sides, and it could be a bigger win for Boston if they get that Taylor Hall that is motivated, ready to play. He needs to have a huge month in playoffs for the Boston Bruins if he thinks he's going to get paid. And you know what? I hope he does, because I want everybody in the league to get paid. But the Boston Bruins could land a motivated player, and that's a really dangerous player.
Yeah, I read something on Taylor Hall too that was, Boston was like his number one choice last year before Buffalo signed him. Mainly because they were cap troubled and they had to move some pieces around. And Jimmy, you probably know this because you're over there, but he just couldn't wait, right? He didn't want to wait. COVID was happening. He's like, I need to have a deal. I need to play. Signed a 1 year deal. Said pretty much at Boston, if you can figure it out, then maybe I get there this season, next season, whatever. I just, at what point do you need to be, and this is that old adage, as good as the last game you play, right? Like,
Totally.
And he hasn't really done anything. He had 2 goals this year.
Yeah, 2.
I think that's
How do you do that?
It must be that
play
stench of
power.
Buffalo.
You play power, but power plays.
I know.
Penalty kills, 20 minutes a night,
Playing
like
big minutes.
I don't care. You should just have him go in off your feet if you stand in front of the net, and that's where the goal scorers score all the goals, anyways. Jimmy, you know that.
A fuel hit you in the ass and go in or something, right? Like hit you in the pant.
So him like saying, yeah, Boston, I want to stay there a couple more years. I read a quote, that was it. Buddy, you better just pick it up right now. You're playing on now a team that goes to the that makes the finals, that has had great success in the last 10 years, probably one of the most, colored organizations in the last decade for what they've done in the playoffs.
Yeah,
now,
100%.
you have been in the playoffs twice, I think, in your career. You haven't done anything. You have
First round exit in New Jersey.
you have a moment now to step up and play with Bergeron, Marchand, Krejci. You better step up. You better be the player that you're getting paid for these guys, or it's not going to be a great summer. I hope you get paid, but you better just do what Boston needs you to do, and that's what I want to say about this.
I agree, and you know what, Uppy, you're right. He had some traction to sign with Boston, and when he was going through it, I said he should take less on a 1 year deal to go to a good spot. He decided to take 1 year, $8 million in Buffalo, whatever. I mean, you can't play forever, get your money. He's gotten a break again, right? Now he gets to go to Boston. You had the guy, David Krejci. You get to play with Krejci, maybe one of the best creative centermen in our era, for sure, right? And this is your chance. You want to get paid, go in there, do the right thing. You don't have to be the guy, Marchand, Bergeron. There's tons of leadership in there. Do the right thing. I've been hard on this kid. I hopefully he proves me wrong. But if he doesn't work out here, I don't know how any GM would ever want to take him again. Maybe just on his skill alone. But this is his chance. And shout out to Curtis Lazar, the kid who got thrown in. This kid was captain for Team Canada back in the day. He's a fucking good playoff guy. So I think that's a good throw in for him, Uppy. I think he'll help the Bruins come playoff time.
Yeah,
with the depth.
he is. And I'm pumped for him when I saw his name thrown in the mix. He was a kid I worked out with in Kelowna. He's big, strong, right-hand shot. He deserves another chance. He's been stuck in Buffalo for a while since he got traded from you. You were with him in Calgary, were you not, Obes?
I missed him.
Okay. Well, anyway, he's a good kid.
Yeah.
He can help out the depth in guys go down, and that's playoff hockey. He's a kid that can just step up and play, that strong Jimmy Hayes style of hockey, and hopefully be
In Florida.
Hopefully be a good addition, like the Blake Colemans of what Tampa Bay brought in last year. Some depth guys, some character guys. I hope that he can fill that.
Yeah. Did you say Blake Coleman? Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think Coleman has more skill, but this Curtis Lazar kid, I think it's a great pickup. So good luck to him. Updogg, moving on to Toronto Maple Leafs. Listen, I'll start with Kyle Dubas. Nobody ripped this guy more than me before the start of the season. The way they got spanked by Columbus, the way they got spanked every year by the Bruins. They never added toughness. They added toughness. They added veteran leadership. And then they go out and get Nick Foligno, who me and you arguably thought was the best pickup out there. They have to give up a first rounder and a fourth rounder. But, man, you look at their second line right now, Updogg, Tavares, Nylander, Foligno. For Nylander, congratulations. You're not ever going to forecheck and get any puck because Tavares and Foligno will get them all. Uppy, what'd you think?
Yeah, it's a great pickup. Yeah. A guy that, I played so many games against this guy, and this guy's been great two-way forward, right? Steps up when the time comes. I seen him fight Revo, actually, in St. Louis just to get his team going.
Wow.
Full on and it was a long fight too, man. And it was crazy. And he got back to the bench and everyone was like, you're a psychopath. And then I also like the move that they did. They brought in Ben Hutton, who's a D-man that I still has been undervalued.
Yeah, great in the room, I heard.
Yeah, he hasn't been playing up to his potential, but a guy that can skate and play minutes. Just put him in the right, he's in Anaheim in a bad situation. So good for him, but yeah, what a job. This Nick Foligno, if I was to compare like bringing in a Taylor Hall or a Foligno into the dressing room in Toronto, I read all these reports saying like how, when you look at what they had to give away, they could have got Taylor Hall. Taylor Hall wouldn't have fit in that room. It would all have been about Taylor Hall. You'd think you need the media being like, oh, we got Taylor Hall, we got this. No, you have a good team. Add pieces, add veteran help that will push you over the edge and do something that you guys haven't done in years, and that's get to the fucking semifinals or finals. So good for Kyle.
Yeah,
Doobie Dubois.
Yeah. And Doobie.
It's awesome.
I think that the Toronto Maple Leafs might have been the biggest winners at the deadline. They gave up some stuff to get him, but just Foligno, the value viewed as him around the league, he gets a first-round pick. Taylor Hall gets a second-round pick. But the other thing that the Maple Leafs addressed was the backup goalie situation with that Rittich. I think that was a great ad, kind of under the radar, because, Hutchison I don't know if he's going to be the guy, especially if Anderson is hurt. But I think the Toronto Maple Leafs have proven a point up north going all in, and they're going to try to be a team to come down and compete with those teams here in the U.S.
Yeah, shout out to Jack Campbell. I know him a little bit from last year working with Athletic. Good kid. He said he'd come on, but he'll come on after the season. I said, fuck.
What he did was incredible.
Fuck, way to kick.
Good for him. I mean,
10-0.
11-0 to start the season.
Yeah, I should have known that because I took him for the 12th game.
And then I got to tell you, I watched the game last night against the Leafs Canadians. He was kicking too, keeping his team in the mix. Like in the third, they were down 3-2. He was just flying around his net, like save after save, keeping the Leafs in it till late. So, you know what? It's incredible. Freddie Anderson, I actually I saw a tweet from someone, and I retweeted it with Jack Campbell's name, and he hit me back saying, like, thanks, Uppy, I appreciate it. And I was just like, fuck, are you kidding me? You keep it going, bud. Like, you're in Toronto, and you're taking this team somewhere that they need to go. Freddie Anderson texted me, or also hit me back and was like, he's doing so, like, he's been unbelievable. So to have that vote of confidence from Freddie, too,
we
awesome.
know Freddie. We worked out with him. Freddie's world class. I think Freddie's dealing with more than we could imagine. We won't get into that. But Jack Campbell, great kid. You can see how much the boys love playing in front of him. And Uppy, that means a lot to me. And just to close the book on Kyle Dubas, you said it well. Good on him not hearing the noise coming out of Toronto. Not listening to these fucking reporters saying Taylor Hall. Fuck Taylor Hall. Nick Foligno was the guy. Kyle Dubas, you did a hell of a job. And Uppy, they have 4 or 5 ex-captains in that locker room. Thornton, Spezza,
winners.
Foligno. I mean, they're the favorite in the North for me now because of, we'll get to who we didn't think did well. But Broadway, Stevie Y. Fucking Stevie Y. I mean, guy can do it all,
handsome
right?
devil. Fuck, he just doesn't have good looks.
He just
he can put the pieces together.
I mean, this trade, Anthony Mantha, who, listen, I think he's a bit of a big pussy, I'll be honest with you. I think he's soft. I think he's got unbelievable skill, but I think Stevie Y said, hey, listen, this guy's making 5.7. I've seen enough, maybe. Yep. And he didn't want to be there. Hazy, what were your thoughts? Mantha for Varanen, Panic, which are 2 legit National Leaguers, first rounder, and a second rounder in 22.
I thought it was a great play by Stevie Y. Stevie Y just works wonders wherever he goes, and he's going to make that Detroit team a good team here in the next couple of years. And the thing with Mantha, you said it perfectly. he's so effective when he plays with that little bit of an edge. Like, he's a big guy, and there's times where you don't even notice him. And he's a guy that I feel like he was just kind of sick of being in Detroit. And, to trade him for Veronik, and I heard Verona is kind of tough to deal with in Washington. So it almost seems like both teams are moving on from their problems. And hopefully both these kids can get going in their respective teams now. But I thought Stevie Y did a hell of a job getting that return back. You had 2 National Leaguers, a first-round pick, and a second-round pick. And it's just, that's huge for the Detroit Red Wings.
Yeah, the picks, those are going to be late picks, but still load up your roster, right?
Fuck,
Richard Panik, I did KO him with a body check one time, but he got right up with his eyes crossed and kept skating around.
Safe to say he's not coming on the pod.
No, but no. He got up and I literally had to look at him. I was in Florida, Jimmy. You were probably with me. I was like, "Are you okay?" His eyes were crossed and he's looking at me and he kept going. I'm like, "You're fucking tough." He's tough. And then what I wanted to say though, Vrana, he's been behind all these guys, the Backstroms,
He's sick, right?
He's sick, but he plays like top 9. He doesn't play top 3. He's going to go to Detroit and be a guy that's like, okay, let's see what you got now on a daily basis. So it's almost like if he beats to the sound of his own drum, Jimmy, like you said, he's going to have to show and prove, he's unrestricted or he's restricted free agent. If he wants his money, this next 20 games is going to be important. He needs to show them that he's a guy that they can lean on for minutes, for leadership. He's won a cup, so a great opportunity. But great job by Stevie Y. That was the trade of the day. It was quiet up until that.
Yeah, that was like the last trade.
No one really knew that there was something in the works there, and then bam.
Stevie Y. I think it's a great trade for Detroit. And Mantha, listen, I'm hating on you. Maybe we'll give you the old milk carton bump, but maybe he's what he needs, Uppy, to go to Washington, play in the playoffs, because he is a big body with lots of skill. But when I watched him play this year, I've watched Detroit play a little bit. They've actually cost me a little bit of cash. He just didn't compete like the rest of the team. The rest of that Detroit Red Wings team, they're young. They're trying to make a name for themselves, and he was just kind of out there. So maybe Stevie saw enough. So that's a great trade. Next up, a guy that you reached out to and just wants to focus on the season, which I totally get, is Jeff Carter. I don't know, Hazy, if we were talking about it back in the day, but I thought one of us said, or somebody said, Pittsburgh would be a good fit for him. You text him. He's obviously excited to be back playing for the Stanley Cup, right?
Yeah, he's pumped. And what I liked, my Instagram, followers, I follow a lot of the older guys, the Stoleys and
Stoley baby,
Matt Green. And there was a couple just like really good posts yesterday, highlighting just what Jeff Carter's done in LA for 10 years. And I got to play with him in Philly, but he's had such an incredible career, and you're starting to see we're getting at that age, boys, where a lot of the guys that were just under us or with us are starting to get their last crack at the can. Yeah. And I know you and I talked about Getzy and how Getzy, like if you get a chance to go somewhere with a chance to win, it doesn't happen this doesn't happen very often, and it won't anymore. And what you and I would do to have a chance to go back and try to win a cup is I can't even fathom it, right? I would do anything. Jeff Carter right now has a chance to go play with Sidney Crosby. They played together at World Juniors. They played together at not the Olympics. No.
Is Carter going to play wing or center? Do we know?
He'll play anywhere they want him.
It depends on Malkin's health.
Okay.
I think right now he's going to play center, but Malkin, that they're saying, is going to be back for playoffs. Yeah. And then you move him to the wing, where I think Karchi's better right now on the wing than center. But
I would agree. Yeah. I would agree. But just, you know what? He did so well back in the East back in the day. Mm-hmm. Very familiar with, the opponents he's going to play with. Playing in the different buildings. I just think he's still got such a big presence with something to give in the playoffs because of his experience and his strength and his will to score goals and go to the hard areas. And I just think it's a great pickup, and I wish him nothing but the best. And he'll be on the pod, after they win the Stanley Cup, if that's the case.
Yeah, I love that pickup by Pittsburgh. We assumed Pittsburgh was going to go out and get a veteran. I threw that out. Ryan Getzlaf was a possibility there, but Jeff Carter is just as good as Ryan Getzlaf in that spot for the Pittsburgh Penguins. Like you said, I don't know if he's going to play wing or center, but if he plays wing, he's been an elite goal scorer. He's got the familiarity with Ron Hextall, and now he's going to go in and play probably top 6, top 9 minutes. I love that move by Pittsburgh, and Pittsburgh's trying to make a push here, and they're playing well lately. Yeah,
and good on Kartsy. He's got his 2 mugs. He wants to go, because listen, you're retired for a long time. We know that more than anyone, all of us. I thought Pitt was the only place that he probably would have went to for Sid, and then obviously Hextall. He had Hextall in LA. He knows Hexy. I think it's a good fit. Pittsburgh, they've proved me wrong all year. That's what I get for betting against Sid. But And then we got our guest coming on, got traded out of that stank of Buffalo.
Oh.
Brandon Montour, Monty kid. I had him on NHL yesterday. The thing that I respected the most about Monty, and I told him this, was the way he handled it. You know, like he came out and said, listen, this is embarrassing. You know, when they won the game, the goalie had his hands up and he didn't hug him, he just gave him knuckles. Like, you could tell it was bothering him. And, you know, we'll ask him, you know, later on the show, but he's super excited to get out there. That's a good fit for him there, don't you think, Ups?
I thought Florida did a great job. I think Sam Bennett was a great pickup.
Yep.
Anytime you can add guys that are mean, that play strong, that have some playoff experience. What I saw, the Brandon Montour move for me was you know, something in the making already with Ekblad being out. He was the young guy that can skate, that has the right shot. They need that in their lineup. But Brandon Montour played his first 2 years with Ryan Getzlaf. He knows what, like, you know, it takes to win. The Kevin Biesca, he was playing. These guys play tough. They like to win. That feeds. He never got that in Buffalo, and it affected him. And that's obviously why you saw the character in him that you did, Obes. But now South Florida, baby, it's calling for you. Those palm trees, those nice skirts, bikinis, nice cars.
Yeah, I'm like,
hey, just go play hockey, baby, because you guys got a chance down there to do something good that Florida hasn't really done yet. Yeah. And I mean, you've all played there. It'd be a hell of a time or a hell of a, you know, city to bring a cup to, and they're playing great hockey. That division, you know, it's anyone's it's up for grabs.
Yeah. Get the Rats back, eh?
Get the Rats back, baby.
Get them going. I want to see the Brandon Montour though, the young prospect that he was in Anaheim, because you know I think he went to Buffalo and it probably affected his play. Being on a shitty team, it's hard to play in those situations. But if he can bring that toughness and that edge that he played with in Anaheim, he adds a lot of value to that Florida Panthers lineup. He doesn't need to be a guy that goes in there and tries to run the first power play. They have those guys set up in there. So if he can go in and continue to develop and play like that kid that he was playing like in Anaheim, that's a huge trade for them. And I also like that the signing of Gusov. That's a low risk, high reward there, just picking up that Russian. Hopefully he can kind of turn his career around like Galchenyuk is doing right now in Toronto.
Yeah, that's good. Uppy, I'm with you on the Sam Bennett thing. Great point. And you know this more than me and Broadway. You were a high pick for a team, right? Coming out of junior high prospect. Bennett just never seemed to find that role in Calgary, whether he didn't get the opportunity or whatever. And now he goes to a new team where he's traded for a second rounder. He'll always be a top high first round pick, but now he's not with Calgary. I think it's going to be maybe a little burden off his shoulder. I don't know. You know more than me, where he can go into a new team. Like maybe you go into Phoenix, right, or Philly or whatever, and just kind of fucking finding your role. Because I think he is a good NHLer, Updogg.
Yeah, and it's I talked about this with a couple of guys before, but it's like there's 31 teams in the league, right? So if it doesn't work out with one, you might think this is the end of the world. You might think, my opportunity here is over. My career is going down the drain. I'm only playing 12 minutes a night. I should be playing 18. You know, my coach hates me. But then, boom, you get the call. You're on an airplane. You pack up your suits and your fucking sticks, and you
throw a couple condoms in the bag,
and you get down into a new room.
I need more than a couple in Florida.
And all of a sudden, boys, you have a fresh slate, and it's fucking game on. And you determine your fate. You have an opportunity to play in front of a new coach, new fans, new GM, new owner, you know, new teammates. And what he does from right now until, you know, I guess the fat lady sings at the end of the year will determine like his trajectory on this team. He could be a guy that could be a top 6 player for them for a long, long time. It happens to so many guys, you know, because you will always, yes, like you said, you'll always be a first round pick. You'll always have the skill that someone saw in you to be drafted in the first round. Then, okay, well, he didn't quite pan out, but
or it wasn't a good fit.
Yes,
whatever.
or it wasn't good. Yes, that's exactly what I mean. Yeah. Now you're in a place where people wanted you. You know, they traded a second rounder for you. Yeah. That's, you want it, baby. Yeah. They want you. Let's go. So I like Sam Bennett. I like what he does. I like that he steps up and answers the bell once in a while. He plays hard. So it's good on him. I think he's really going to like South Florida.
I agree. And I would say our ex-Florida Panthers are ready to roll. So they're going to have their hands full. Tampa, Carolina. So that was the GoodLife trade deadline. Updogg. We're going to move into the Cannadips milk carton. Brought to our boys at Cannadips. We both got lip boomers in right now. You threw Scheifele on already, which is fucking hilarious. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, what he did on the 16th hole, like, it screwed up everyone's Sunday.
I know.
Everyone was so fired up. You know, he makes par there. Hell, if he makes a birdie, it could be tied.
All you got to do is hit it on the right there and it'll funnel down too, right? Like, just hit it out there and let it funnel.
What was he thinking is what I want to know.
He was a little nervous.
Matsuyama made bogey.
Bogey on 15.
Yeah, he 3-putted.
So
No,
was
but
de-
didn't he
was
do it
2
on
down.
16 too? He was on
He
the right.
three-putted the par 3.
Yeah, he 3-putted. So it literally, a birdie there was a tie match going into 18. Instead, triple. Ooh.
Shifley.
Milk carton.
On the Cannadips milk carton. Broadway, you're going to go on the same page as me, a team from the trade deadline on your Cannadips milk carton.
The Carolina Hurricanes. That was a team I said, I think it was 2 weeks ago, that they had potential to win the cup, and I thought they had to make some moves. I thought they were in on Foligno, and then they didn't do anything. They ended up trading Fleury for how do you pronounce that kid's name from Anaheim?
Hackapaa. Yanni Hackapaa or something like that.
Yeah, it was it's a good ad for them, but I think the Carolina Hurricanes needed a lot more to be able to compete in that division. So I'm throwing the GM and the Carolina Hurricanes on the milk carton this week.
Fucking Broadway's throwing Don Waddell and the Carolina Hurricanes, and I'm with you, Scoopsy. Fuck, they've cost me money the last couple of games. But anyways, I like their team, but I thought they needed some size. That Hackapaa, the big Finn, he's a good little right D man. I'm with you on Don Waddell. For me, I'm going to go north for my Cannadips milk carton. Winnipeg Jets. Now, I'm not taking anything away from Jordy Ben. He's a good depth defenseman. He's going to be good in the room. He was good in Vancouver. I think that's a good enough pickup. But when you see what Kyle Dubas is doing in Toronto and you're Ken Shovelday off, maybe he has a master plan that I don't know about, Uppy. But I thought that they were the best team in the North heading in the deadline. Now, I would put my money on the Leafs, which maybe not a good thing for the Leafs, but I think the Leafs are better. So I'm putting the Winnipeg Jets on the old milk curtain. Updogg, you touched on real quickly. Let's talk about Getzy real quick. He doesn't get moved. He's going to finish out, his remaining contract with the Ducks. I texted with him a little bit, and he didn't give me a whole lot, honestly, which I understand. But selfishly, I wanted to see him. I thought Vegas would have been a good fit where he could go in there, and it just didn't work out. What were your thoughts real quick on Getzy? He'll play out his and see what happens. I guess, what do you think is going to happen next year? You think Getzy's going to keep playing, or what are your thoughts?
I really think there was an effort to Las Vegas to make a play at him. Economics in this league sometimes don't really pan out. I think the relationship with Getzy and Bob Murray, played a big factor in this where, Getzy wanted the final say of what goes on. And he unselfishly cares about the organization more than, a guy might. And he said, if there's a deal on the table that helps this team for the near future and for the long term, I want to know about it because I'm the one that controls my fate, and I would consider leaving. I think Bob Murray set a price tag that just probably couldn't be reached. It's not worth him going somewhere for a second round pick, right? It's like you're Ryan Getzlaf. You're too good to go somewhere for. Unfortunately, you're not Nick Foligno. You're way better than Nick Foligno, and you have a bigger legacy now.
Yeah.
That would be up to Ryan Getzlaf to say, listen, I don't care what it is. I want out.
Yeah.
I want a chance to win. But that's not the case. We touched on it earlier. He's had a hell of a career. It's been, 12. It's been, let's think, he won in 06. It's been 15 years since he won a Stanley Cup. There's a lot of, that's a long time, man. And you're going to be retired soon and having another chance to go somewhere like Vegas, like Colorado, like Edmonton or Winnipeg or anywhere that, hell, these guys are a good team this year and there's a chance to win. That, to me, if you called me, Obes, and was like, hey, if you can go win, you should go do it. I don't care if your family's here. I would probably be like, you're right. It's fucking 3 months. And, who knows? I might go win a Stanley Cup and play another couple of years. Or if I'm done, I'm done. At least I gave it one last kick at the can. But I respect Getzy. He's one of the smartest, one of the coolest, one of the best hockey players I've ever played against. Best leaders. And I think, if he plays out his contract and decides to, stick around another year in Anaheim to help the young kids out, or decides to go somewhere else, or he decides to hang him up, this guy's been a legend, and it's been a hell of a ride for him.
Yeah, well said. And I'll just end it real quick. Getzy, you're the man. I wanted to see him play in the Stanley Cup playoffs again. I thought he had a little more bite left in him. So to Getzy, after your year-end bender, I don't know with COVID, but I'll see you on the first tee box being Updogg. I'm a 9, so you got to give me a few pops. But Scoopsy, Flyers. We talk Flyers a lot with you. Scott Lawton, that's his first name, right? Yeah,
Scott Lawton. Yeah,
5 years, $15 million. I like this kid's game. I think the Flyers have lots of problems. I don't think this kid's one of them. I think he's good in the room. What were your thoughts on that deal? I think it's a good one.
I love the sign-in, and I love seeing guys like that who mostly third-line guys get paid. That's life-changing money for him, and he's deserved it. He's played the right way. He plays hard, and he's a guy that plays up and down the lineup. He's unbelievable on their PK, And I know that negotiations took a lot to get him to stay because his name was floating around to be traded. But ultimately, Fletcher decided to extend him. And you know what? He's going to be a Flyer probably for the rest of his career. And, you know, it's just it's a great move for them because he means a lot to that team. I know my brother loves him. He's huge in the locker room. And he just continues to impress me throughout the year. Like I watched him play 3-on-3 in overtime this year, and I couldn't believe the skill level on him. So I think it's a great signing by the Flyers.
I agree. And I think, you know, Philly, I don't know if they were as good as we thought they were last year, Broadway, and I don't think they're as bad as they're playing this year. I think Chuck Fletcher's a great hockey mind. I think he will get it turned around, but there is some reason for concern in Philly. So congrats to Lawton on that deal. He just seems like a beauty to me. Updogg. Fucking St. Louis Blues, buddy. I throw them on the milk carton and they have arrived. They're fucking back. The fact daddy, fucking top titty, he was the fucking leading scorer.
You're damn right.
They don't make a move. Your boy Army doesn't make a move. What did you think about it? Can they catch Mini? The statement game 9-1. They look like they could be rolling here. Did they just pull the wool over everyone's eyes here, Updogg?
Well, Army's pretty smart, boys, and he's not going to... Had they lost the last 3 games, it's fire sale.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They win them. They have confidence. They must know deep down that there's guys coming back that are healthy, that haven't been healthy all year, and that are like pickups without having to give away anything. Their goaltending is there right now. It needs to be. Their defense, they're starting to come around. Parayko, I always say this, but if Colton Parayko is healthy, their D are so much better than they are without him. And then their forwards got to just play with that bite and that attitude, and they have lately. That 9-1 shellacking.
What a statement.
I mean, that's a statement game.
We were pinned Friday night, right? When I saw the score at a restaurant.
Yeah.
Remember, I came back, I'm like, Uppy, I'm going to take a leak or something. I'm like, Uppy, Blues won 9-1. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, fucking statement win.
So you're having their guys step up at the right time, and it's almost like they feel like it's their mojo again, right? It's their time. And it's like that feeling... Man, it's scary. It's scary if you're other teams that are just going, "Oh God, not again." Do they really think they're going to? Do they really think they're going to be that team again? And if they do think that, man, what's stopping them?
Nothing.
It's
maybe Colorado Avalanche, but other than that, nothing.
Well, I'd be pissed if I was the Avalanche and I had to play them right now in the first round. The St. Louis Blues got to be one of the most dangerous teams, and that's got to be one of the worst bounces in the world to get first place and play them in the first round of the playoffs.
And just because they don't give a fuck and they play hard. And you know that they're going to go, okay, like first game, you know, Perron's going to be all over everyone.
Chirping in his French accent.
Shen is going to run the goalie and then fight someone. Yeah. It'll be probably Landy. It'll be, and then like it's, and then Kadri and, you know, I don't know who else. But anyway, it's good. That's be a great matchup.
It'd be a great matchup. I just don't want them both out, one of them out in the first round. But yeah, it looks like that. Can they catch Minnesota up, Doug?
They're 7 points back, and they have one game. Minnesota has a game in hand, so let's just say they're 9. They play together. They play against each other 5 times down the stretch.
So they can.
I think they can.
Yeah.
I think right now, if it's, you know, watch the Minnesota Wild assholes pucker up if the Blues start winning again.
Yeah.
Because you know what, you don't. I don't think you want to play Colorado first round.
No,
that'd
be ideal. Honest. St. Louis, Vegas, round 1. Missin Curfew. Here we come to Vegas.
Here we come.
100%.
Game 1 and 2 maybe, but. From a perspective to the fact that I know I get a lot of hate because I give him love, but listen, buddy, he's playing unbelievable. He's turning around. Their locker room, Bennington, credit to him. With that interview, he's like, we're fucking coming. And they look like they are. Into Army, fuck, good on you, man. No panic. Kept your team together. Everyone thought Hoffman was gone. I wouldn't want to play him up, dog. So the Blues are rolling. And Scoopsy, we're a couple fucking CHLers here, Western League or Ontario League. We don't know fuck all about the Final Four except for Barry Melrose.
Frozen Four.
There you go.
That's how much we know.
Talk to us about UMass winning. All I know is 5 years ago they won 5 games, so that's a pretty good turnaround.
Yeah, it's even cooler to see the Hockey East because that's the division I played in college hockey. To be able to go to the Frozen Four in Pittsburgh and take it to some of those Minnesota schools. You know, it's a team that they had to deal with some shit too. They had their starting goalie get COVID right before the tournament. 2 of their leading scorers. So to do what they did in the Frozen Four, win the first national championship, and to win it in an ass-kicking fashion. I think the final score is 5-0. I know I'm just happy for UMass Amherst, and that's a school that's also known as Zoomass. So I can only imagine the party they would have had without COVID on that campus.
Oh wow!
And I got to give credit to the coach. I think his last name's Carville. He's turned that program around, and they're a school that had Kale McCarr. I don't know if many people know that, and ever since he went there, they've been on the map. And their team in Hockey East, that's going to be a force.
Hey, Scoopsy, did you win the Beanpot and the national championship?
Yeah, in the same year. There was basically the Beanpot should have been changed to the Boston College Invitational when I was there. We went to the Beanpot a lot.
I just remember watching the Beanpot, and you guys would always play at the TD Garden, right? It was like
Christmas time.
Yeah, I'm like, these fucking college boys love this Beanpot shit.
Oh, especially being from Boston. The night we won the Beanpot, we had a better party on campus than the night we won the national championship because we had so many kids from Boston, and the Beanpot meant the world to all of us.
How many orgies did you have?
We can't disclose that.
Oh, you had to be there for that one. Yeah, congratulations to UMass, Final Four. Frozen Four, Obes, you dumb fuck. Frozen Four. National champs, congratulations. Updogg, we had the big Luch train on Missin Curfew about a month ago, and my big mouth, without even thinking, brought up 1,000 games, and he was like, yeah, I'm 9 away. And honestly, it's been in the back of my mind for the last 3 weeks. Every Calgary game, I check the box score, make sure Luch finished the fucking game. He did. He's going to play his 1,000th game, I believe, tonight, which is Tuesday against the Leafs. So congratulations to Big Luch. I also saw Jordan Stahl played his 1,000th game last night, so congratulations to him. To his teammates, you fucking laid an egg against the Red Wings. But anyways, Uppy, my question to you and Hazy is, they got him and his 4 brothers, the Stahl brothers, a Pebble Beach golf trip for a weekend. So I thought that was pretty cool. I was like, if I ever got to 1,000 games, Pebble or something would be cool. Is there anyone that you played with that got something sick like that?
Yeah, we gave the Jovo Cop 55 Eddie Jovanovski a trip to the Masters, which he still hasn't fulfilled yet.
What?
No.
We should have went this year. There's nobody there.
Yeah, well, I keep telling him, hey, by the way, I helped set that up, so let's get you. And maybe throw me on that foursome. And then we actually got Bobby Lou. We got.
Okay, sorry. So you got a Jovo to play Augusta.
Yeah, to play Augusta.
Okay,
No. We got him a foursome to play Augusta.
Wow, good for you. You guys are good teammates.
Yeah, and
he can use that whenever he wants, or
he can use that whenever he wants. The member who set it up, it was Donor's buddy.
Wow.
Organized it, and I mean it's there for his taking. I don't think he's timed it right. But Jovo, if you're listening, bring the boys on.
Jovo, I'm a 9. I'm a good 9. Jovo, put me on your team, but I'll play.
You got 3 guys right here that'll play with you.
And then another great gift that we got, one of the greatest goaltenders of all time, Bobby Lou. This was in Florida.
Lou.
We got Luongo like this $18,000 fucking road bike. I didn't even know he rode.
Is he a road bike guy?
Yeah, this thing came in. It had like artificial intelligence. It was like a Tesla. It was like a bike. It was like a talk to him. So anyway, we got Bobby Lou a bike. He was fired up. I mean, what do you get a guy that probably has everything? You get him an $18,000 bike.
You get him a fucking bike. Hey, speaking of Tesla, this is way off topic. I was listening to the Joe Rogan podcast with Max Holloway, and they brought up Elon Musk, and they were like convinced that if anybody's an alien, he's an alien.
He is an alien.
Yeah, you said that before, right?
His wife just got this crazy tattoo on her back last night. It's alien scars. You got to see it. His wife is that Grimes, and you got to see the pictures online. It's crazy. She's got it looks like cuts from like an alien.
So,
it's probably from
and then
him.
I started looking at pictures of him and shit. I'm like, this guy, and he's so smart. Like he's
brilliant.
He could be an alien. Anyways, Bobby Lou, Hazy, do you have anything that we gave the boys for 1,000 games?
I can't think of 1,000 games, but the retirement gift, we got Johnny Michael Lyles one year. He's a big bourbon drinker. And I think the boys got him like an $8,000 bottle of that Poppy Van Winkle. And he was loving that. He's a big wine collector as well. So I think that was a gift we gave him one year in Boston.
Yeah, you could tell that if you ever tune into Avalanche TV. What's it called?
Altitude.
His wine cellar.
Yeah, he always does his
Keefe,
thing.
Shout out to Cal Keefe too. He's a beauty.
Yeah,
but yeah, John Michael Lyles is called like his little wine cellar. He's down there with his kids drinking wine. I'm like, that's a good idea.
Great idea.
I mean, you're smoking Monte Cristos in here, so
I actually had to ask the boss if he mind I lit it up. He actually said no. Big Al said no. We're going to wait to smoke
No,
these.
But we got some Missin Curfew stuff coming up that we'll probably be smoking some cigars. But we'll leave that little teaser for you. Boys, top titty. We finally Updogg. Finally.
DraftKings top titty, baby.
Top titty. We finally had a good
showing for me.
Broadway, we'll get to that. The winner, Dallas Cole. Dally, baby. 161 points. Ryan O'Reilly, 3 goals, 1 assist, 5 shots, 49 points for the fact that. So to Dallas Cole, 161 points. Congratulations. That's how you say
this
it, right?
Guy fucks t-shirt.
This guy fucks t-shirt coming your way.
With that name, too. That guy's fucking with that name. He sounds like a porn star.
That does sound like... It does kind of.
Dallas Cole sounds like a porn star? Jeez, I'm watching the wrong kind of porns.
I think he's talking 70s porn, not goggles porn.
Okay.
He's talking old school.
I don't even see the names anymore.
He's like 70s bush porn he's talking about.
Gotcha.
You're not seeing that in your goggles, when it's coming.
Get out the old weed whacker.
Manscaped
weed whacker for that 70s porno.
And for us, Fact Daddy, way to get me. I took you again my third week in a row. O'Brien, 148 points. The Upshaulian one, 137 points. And Broadway, Scoopsy Hayes, 62 fella.
I had a tough day of picking guys that day. I had a lot of guys the one guy I had, and I deleted him from my lineup last second, was Miles Wood, and he had 2 goals that night. So that's a tough fucking night for Broadway.
Miles Wood fucks.
And he was cheap that night. He
would have been 3,900. I deleted him. I had him right there.
So to Dallas Cole, this guy fucks t-shirt coming your way.
Yeah, and just a note to our listeners: this DraftKings, this tournament every Friday for us, we're gonna start to do cash prizes, and it's a 200-seat filled-up tournament. Continue to get in there. We want to push this. We think it's great. We're gonna continue to. I mean, there's standings now in the league.
Broadway's at the bottom of it.
Broadway's at the bottom. You want to be higher than Broadway, and it's easy to be higher than Broadway, but. Size yourself up against us, boys. It's something fun. As the playoffs come on, there are going to be more events, more tournaments, but let's get everyone involved. Missin Curfew Top Titty League every Friday. Promo code Curfew Kings.
Curfew Kings, and you don't have to put your life savings on it. It's fun, keeps your interest. It's a great little event we got going on, and you can chirp us, and we can chirp you back. So the games this Friday: Flames Canadians, Islanders Bruins, Sharks Wild, Kings Avalanche. I'm hammering the Avs. Oilers Canucks canceled due to COVID, I believe. Updogg. And then Golden Knights Ducks. Careful with the Ducks, man. Gibby, he keeps them in fucking games, man. And like they're always the teams that are playing them like minus 380 to fucking beat them. So careful with the Ducks. But top titty Friday nights. Dallas Cole, congratulations. Updogg, Broadway to our sponsors again. DraftKings, GoodLife Clothing, and Cannadips Lip Boomers. Updogg, these guys, we couldn't do this show without them. They're unbelievable.
Yeah, no, we've been with these guys since day one. They've been great. Fans love them. We're still working on getting those Cannadips up to Canada.
People are dying for them up there.
They want them so bad. We might have to smuggle a bunch when we go up to see our family when they let us in, Obes.
Hey, man, they won't let you in unless you got your fucking vaccine card on you. You're not getting in.
But anyway, a lot of good games. This weekend. And, let's keep this thing rocking. Get as many points as you can and size as you up.
So, thank you to our sponsors. And next, we got one of my former teammates, great kid, just traded to the Florida Panthers, Brandon Montour, coming at you. Great hair, National League flow.
Well, it's time to put the stogie down and get out a Cannadips, Obes.
These things are great. I've had one in the whole show, man. It's just sitting in there nice.
Jeez, this wintergreen, I'm telling you, it keeps my breath fresh.
You know what?
Keeps me buzzing.
The good one, too, I was a little, the spice, the American Spice one, the red tin, it's a nice little treat. It's a nice little treat after dinner. Throw it in there, spices it up a little bit for you. I know you like your fucking spicy margs.
What's the drink of choice?
Throw in a spicy chew. Skinny margarita with it.
Nice.
With it in there, or red wine. It gives it that little spice, it's nice.
I just like how it just sits perfectly right in that lip. Like just the lip boomer right in that lip pouch there.
And that's for a guy who never chewed. So for you to say that, for it to sit in there nicely, I'm telling you, Broadway, these lip boomers, man.
My favorite one is the mango Cannadip. And I tell you guys, I'm not kidding when I say this. I have a mango Cannadip in my entire round of golf. There's no better feeling than making a birdie putt with a Cannadip in.
With a lip boomer.
It's kind of a fruitcake there. On these guys. He likes the fruity kind.
Updogg, the lip boomers are great on the course. Baseball's back, hockey, everything. I have a lip boomer in. What's the promo code, baby?
www.cannadipscbd.com, and our promo code is Curfew Cali, baby.
Welcome back to Missin Curfew. Trade deadline week, Updogg. We got one of the boys that I was pumping hard all trade deadline to go to the team that I want.
You called it.
Fuck, I just knew.
News, Opes.
I'm breaking news thanks to this beauty. I just knew with the flow he's got. He's played in California already. I knew Florida would be a nice fit for him.
Handsome fella.
No state tax either. I was looking out for him. Brandon Montour, Monty Kid. Welcome, Missin Curfew.
Boys, thanks for having me.
How's the trade gone down? You were just breaking it up with before we got on air. It was kind of obviously with COVID a unique situation. Maybe just go through the last couple days for you. And congratulations on the trade. I know you're fired up.
Yeah, thanks. No, you know what? I think we've already talked about it. I knew I was going to get traded. UFA come summertime. So the season we had in Buffalo wasn't one to remember. And, agent, spoke to the agent, spoke to the GM there. We're trying to find a fit. Obviously you can't control where you get picked, but luckily enough, Florida was interested, and, here I am.
Yeah, I was texting with them I was supposed to text with you the last 10 days probably, and I'm like, Monty, like, listen, every time I'm on NHL or Missin Curfew with the boys, I'm saying Florida for you, and I'm like, hey, have you heard anything? And you're like, no, I'm just, if I'm playing hard, and if something happens. I'm like, all right, well, if you do, let me know. And so Friday you got traded on Saturday, right? Monty?
You're cutting out here. You froze off there. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. You got traded on Saturday, right?
Yeah. What was it? Was it Saturday?
Yeah, Saturday.
The boys, we were at the rink there. The boys were going to Philly, and we played the night before. And talking to the old lady, I'm just like, if I make this trip and have to get off the bird in Philly and find out there, have to drive back because of all this COVID stuff from Philly to Buffalo, I'm like, they better. And sure enough, I wake up in the morning and get a text from the GM saying, hey, come talk with me before everybody gets here. I'm like, okay, here we go. That's fine.
Hey, so this beauty texts me right away. He's like, yeah, Holmes, you're right. I'm going to Florida. And it was Monty, one of our best buddies' birthday on Friday. So me and Updogg golfed all day. And then, so I woke up Saturday morning and I was like, just trying to find my phone. I'm like, oh, fuck, Monty kid, fucking right. So you're like, hey, Holmes, I'm going to Florida. So then I just tweeted out, and thanks to you, you fucking beauty, I beat Elliot Friedman. I beat all these guys to the punch. So
yeah, that's impressive.
All of a sudden,
beat Jimmy Scoops.
I beat Jimmy Scoops. It was unreal, Monty.
I love that. And sure enough, I get a text from Pierre LeBrun trying to get a quote from me.
You're like, no, I go right to the source. I'm going right to O'Brien.
Yeah, so
I'm like, sorry, but I got my guy.
Monty, I love you for many reasons. That one of them. Tell our listeners about the unique situation because of COVID with the trade, and this is not nationally what they wanted you to do. So it's kind of a funny story.
Yeah, so obviously, get off the phone with the GM. He says you got some good news. Been traded to Florida. We're excited to have you out the whole spiel, and then he got some bad news. I'm like, okay. You gotta make the trek. You gotta drive to Fort Lauderdale, and right away I'm just kind of thinking about. I'm like, there's no way. I didn't know like how far it was, but anyways, probably for the next 2-3 hours, I'm like, okay, well, call the old lady, tell her we're making a drive, pack up what you can, pack the dogs up, and we're going. And then sure enough, we found a way to get out of that one, get a small plane, and made our way down.
I was gonna say, you should have called him on the joke. Actually, he was probably like, "Here, let me see if I can pull this on Monty right away."
Well, that's what I called the agent after too, and I'm like, "Hey, this isn't something like you normally." And I know I'm not like a superstar or anything in the league or nothing. Treat them like a little different maybe, but I'm like, there's got to be a way out of this. I'm not driving. I'll shift the cars.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a sore back and hip flexors for the next 4 months if that's the case.
Hey, you were talking about the blue pad. I might need 3 of those if that was the case.
You would have needed the blue pad. If that would have been my case, from Buffalo to New York, I would have gained 20 pounds in that drive down there, hitting all the fast food spots on the way. That's like a 30-hour drive, Monty. There's no way they could have done that. So
yeah, it was something like 23 hours or something like that.
That has to do with COVID. Like if you would have jumped on a commercial bird, then you would have had a quarantine, right? Is that the whole reason?
I think that's what it would be. I don't know if it's different per states. I'm not sure about that, or because I had COVID too. So I don't know the restrictions with that, but I know guys, they're avoiding the commercial flights.
Yeah. Before we get into Buffalo,
actually, I know. Sorry, I know Stalzy, when he got traded, I think he took a commercial flight back to Buffalo because we were in Boston, but he was going to Montreal, so he drove anyway. So I don't know how that worked.
Yeah, hey Monty. Before we want to dive into Buffalo first, but let's go back to San Diego. My blue pad. I was telling the Updogg you used to love it. So Monty was a rookie, and I had this, the blue.
The Xryrex pad.
Yeah, the Xryrex pad that I would bring in the dressing room, and then I would bring it on the bench. Hey Monty, remember I bring it on the bench, and I'd be like, Monty.
And then sure enough, after a little while, I have the pad too. So us two idiots, me the young kid, and then we're using the blue pad on the fucking bench.
When we were in Florida, there was, who was it? Jovo? It might have been no, but it was Jovo because he had the bad hip. Frosty would be behind him. Shout out to our boy Frosty.
Love him.
Moving the blue pad every time, like he'd be, if he'd come off in the middle of the bench, he'd move her down for him. And, so full trainer act.
We would play in like Oklahoma. No, where were we, Monty? Then we played like Bakersfield and Stockton and whatever. Me and Monty were deep pairings, which is a fucking shame. But anyways, I'm like, Monty, here, you sit on this till I get back. So he would sign down. I'm like, all right, Monty, get up, let me sit back down. So
every shift will switch off. Yeah.
It was great. And then one last thing, Monty, remember the passing drill we used to do from at the end of practice? I'd get Monty, get over here. Because Monty would already snap it hard. Like when I first started practicing, I'm like, fuck, this kid snaps it National League already. And we would just go blue line to red line, snapping it as hard as we could, huh?
Clappers on the ice. Don't matter if they break or stick or anything,
I'm like, Monty, National League, you got to be able to take one hard, give one hard. So me and him are just...
Those trainers too, they're probably just like giving it to me. Like this first year guy, like what the fuck is this guy doing?
Breaking all the one pieces with just slap shots in practice.
Oh yeah, and then before we get started, one last thing down memory lane here. Our D coach Marty Wolford. So Marty, he's actually not a bad guy, right? He's a D coach for the Ducks now. He's not a bad guy. He's a good Ontario guy, but like he was trying to like harness money in and whatever, take his swagger away. And it was just like, it wasn't going to happen because Monty had that swagger. And I just remember being to Marty, like, I'm like, you just got to let this kid play. Like you can't compare him to you. Like you could never fucking do what he's doing. And another reason I was pissed, he never fucking let me play with you. And then one time we had a 4-on-4 shift and I just went up. All I did was go backhand sauce to Monty. Remember you went coast to coast for the game winner?
That's what you'd always say. Hey, you always stay below me.
I'm like, Monty, if we get out there, you stay underneath me because this is coming back to you, fella. So,
see, that's just good teamwork.
Man.
Needless to say, Monty, my time with you in the minors, buddy, it was refreshing. So, we want to just ask you a couple things about Buff. And listen, all three of us, all four of us, we've all been on losing teams. We've all been there. It sucks. And the one thing that I really wanted, we've talked about, was being on a losing streak and COVID. Like when we were on losing streaks, Monty, we could go out for beers and, we were single chase girls and play golf. How much harder was it not being able to fucking do anything while you're on that losing streak?
No, it was tough. I think that's the whole thing, like even especially with New York, just being so locked up the whole time. I know some areas, I don't know, like personally, like in Florida, like if the guys go out or, whatnot, but it was tough. Like you kept losing. All you do is go home and, I know a lot of guys play video games or, it's a lot different now. Like there might be the odd guys that can get together and then with, the pandemic and, how I think there's 10 of us that got it at one point. So then everybody had to quarantine and it was just kind of a shit show in that sense. But no, definitely tough. I think those are times, especially like you said, you grab a group of guys and you go for beers or, just, little things like that will help. But there wasn't much of that. And I think it was so weird. Like it was such a good group of guys where, but in the sense it was like we were say 12 games into it, like it just felt like it was like just a normal thing. It was just a normal day where fuck, we should be like slamming our sticks, like it was just, it is what it is. And we just keep going. And it was just kind of, there was no frustration with it. It was super weird how it came about. And I don't know if that's just, don't really have any words to kind of describe whether that was the coaches, like not being too hard or, just the players just saying, hey, this is what it's been here, or, we just keep continuing to play. But yeah, it was rough, but weird just how it all went about.
Yeah, like Obie said, it's not something you ever prepare for. And when it's happening, it starts to just creep into your everyday life and it becomes like this attitude and it's hard to get out of. And I've been actually part of, my first year, and I want to ask you a question because you have a couple young studs on your team that, are good up and coming players. Dylan Cousins, for example, Darlene, these young guys that, look up to older guys on your team, the Jack Eichels, yourself, Sam Reinhart, guys that have been there before. Now, in that sort of situation, how is it to like teach a young kid? And this happened to me when I got sent back to junior my first year. We started 1-11, and the 10-game rule as a rookie, whether to keep you or not. And I remember Barry Trotz calling me. I'm walking down Hollywood Boulevard on a trip to California, and he's like, "Updogg,
Hollywood Boulevard.
It's Trotzy." And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Can I see in your room?" And I'm like, "This isn't Trotzy." He's like, No, it's Trotzy." And I'm like, "Oh, okay. Hey, coach." I'm like, "I'm in Hollywood, and we were staying in Anaheim at the time. A couple of us drove up there." And I'm like, "Really? You want to see me in my room? Can it wait?" He's like, yeah, whenever you're back to the hotel." I'm like, "Yeah, it'll probably be after dinner." He's like, "Sure." So anyway, of course, now it ruined my whole dinner plans that we had, and I shoot back down the 405. And I know it's coming. I'm hoping he's telling me I'm staying, but I knew like deep down, like it just was a bad start to the season, and he was gonna, tell me I'm going back to junior. But how do these young kids, like, how do you teach a young kid like to keep like doing things the right way when things go so bad? Because sometimes the coaches can't really do it. It becomes something that the older guys need to take care of, and I feel for the young kids in this situation. I don't feel for the free agents that are like, trying to get their deals. That'll all play out. But a young kid, it just that creeps into like their culture, and it's tough. How was like you handling some of the younger guys? Because they look up to you. I know you're an outspoken guy. You've been there. You've watched Getzy and guys like Pears. You've seen it. So how is that teaching these young kids?
Yeah, I think that was, I think you said it right there. Like my experience, my first couple of years, I had some good guys to watch and to learn from. And, we had our ups and downs in Anaheim as well. And we had a couple good years there where, some playoff runs and, but still, when things were tough, those guys kind of came together and said, "Hey boys, like, like pretty serious." And the whole room kind of, watched that and kind of, knew what was going on. And I think a big thing with Buffalo, especially with, the young kids like Dill and Dolls and Middlestad and kids like that where, points aren't coming or, their minutes aren't there or they're struggling or they're, on a goal for against or, they're just kind of pouting about it or just kind of pissed off, like things aren't going right or trying to find excuses. But especially like being in Buffalo too with, COVID, like we were talking about, like it could get pretty south there, but I think just a big thing, just kind of just to stay positive. I think there's a good group of kids there. They're lucky to have Dill, good Northern boy that, obviously comes from a good family and works hard, works his ass off every single day in practice games. All those kids do. So they're pretty good about it. Obviously, like I said, pissed, if they're not scoring or, not playing enough, but I think now they kind of turned a corner, they're playing all their young guys and they could see, the skill and the talent that they have, moving forward. But it's just trying to find ways to help them get through it. It's tough. Like I said, a lot of guys play video games and you can't go for beers or, go to tea and stuff like that. So it's tough, but you want to stay close as much as you can, talk to them, at the rink or whatnot. Like I know Dill was excited. He bought his first car. This year he bought a Benz, little four-door Benz. So he's driving that around and little things like that. You just want to kind of keep in touch with them, see how their life is, see how everything's going. And I mean, at this point, that's really all you can, kind of do.
You kind of just touched on it, like what guys are doing for the younger guys. But the guy that I wanted to ask you a question about is you playing on a team with Jack Eichel, and his injury obviously impacted you guys. But can you talk to us about like what type of leader he is and what he's doing to get these young guys ready for the season? Obviously, it's not going the way they planned, but what type of role and impact does Jack Eichel have on the Buffalo Sabres?
Yeah, obviously he's been there for a while. I think just his presence, you see him in the locker room, you see how, hard he works off the ice in the weight room or, practices and on the ice. And then it just transitions to the game and you can see how dynamic, obviously everyone knows he's a superstar in this league and he's got all the talent in the world. And, when he's on his game and, he's special to watch. And obviously for us that was huge. And, I think just for this year, injuries, were tough for him and, he was struggling to stay healthy. And I think they just announced that he might be done for for the rest of the season. But I mean, there's 13, 14 games left, and as long as he's healthy, that's all that matters. But just the presence he had, I think, him being around the locker room and having that voice, that extra voice for us if things were going, south, like I was saying, and huge part of that, obviously, organization and that team moving forward.
Yeah, Monty, we appreciate you answering some questions about Buffalo, buddy. Listen, to put it to bed, I was proud of you, the way you handled yourself as a pro, as a character. I met you as a kid. What you went through is only going to make you a stronger fella. And now on to Florida. First of all, what are you wearing? Number 62, or are you going back to 71? What are you wearing down there, bud?
I was thinking about going back to 71.
I like you in 71. I like you in 71.
Yeah. No, I'm wearing 62 again, though. I might as well keep it. It looks good. I don't think too many guys in the league wear it, so.
Yeah. Hey, Monty, listen, I thought this was a great fit for you, buddy. I can't fucking wait to see that hair flowing and the fucking high steps going. Now, on a normal year, this would be a stupid question, but have you watched this? Have you watched the Central much being in Buffalo? Like, there's Tampa, Carolina, and Nashville's coming, Chicago. What are your thoughts on the Central? Have you been able to keep an eye on it at all?
Just keeping tabs with the wins and losses. I think I knew from the start that they're having success this year, but they obviously have some talent. Everybody knows that they have talent on this team, and but I think the big fish, Tampa's, you got to get through them for anything. So it's gonna be interesting, to see. We play them obviously coming up here this weekend, and lot of skill, a lot of talent. Carolina's obviously a team that's up there in the standings as well, and it's tight. I think once you guys know it, once you get in the playoffs, and whoever's hot at that point, we obviously added a few key pieces. Losing Ekblad there is a bad bounce, but hopefully everybody steps up, myself included, and come playoffs and see what we can do.
I'll give you a little piece of advice in Florida. I don't. I'm not going to talk.
Wear a condom. No, you got to go for. I'm just joking.
I'm not going to talk about.
You got to go for. I'm just joking.
I'm not going to talk about Miami yet. I'll mention a couple restaurants that you should go to: Cafe Europa, the Obie House for breakfast. Those are two of my spots. Go see Rodney at the Obie House, best breakfast of all time. But just a heads up: do not look at the puck when Alex Barkov comes at you one-on-one in practice, because he's absolutely going to dance you. He's one of the sickest hockey players on planet Earth. He's a hockey freak. And when you just said your team is loaded, super highly skilled, you just touched on it. Like some of the stuff that these guys are doing day in, day out, highlight reel goals. It's a team that you are going to fit in with. I think back watching you in the playoffs a couple years ago in Anaheim, where you would carry the puck end to end and you complement good skating. These guys all are offense first. You got a great coach that lets the guys play. I'm really excited to see it. I know Obes is fired up. He called this, and it's exciting. So tomorrow, when is your first game? Tomorrow, you guys are in Tampa.
Yeah, tomorrow we're playing Tampa.
And you haven't met any of the boys yet.
No. So I mean, I think we have a dinner, coming up here. So I might text a few of them and say, hey. Let's get together here. It's been a while.
I put him in a little group text with Mackenzie Weegar, my boy Weegs, who I had in San Antonio, and you and Weegs, you'll get along well. You guys are both character guys. He's a right shot like yourself. He could play the off wing. Maybe you guys will play together, but he's a guy, Monty, that you'll love going the rink with. He's a good kid. But
Keefe Yandel too. Keefe Yandel's a guy that you'll gel with. Every guy that's played with him is a guy that's they rave about having him as a teammate. So I'll make sure I send a text out to him for you as well.
Monty, have you had we've talked about Coach Q a lot on this pod this year, and we've all talked about him on the radio shows we do about how good of a job. Have you had a moment to talk to Coach Q yet since you've been traded?
Yeah, no, he called me, but like you said, I mean, just his resume speaks for itself. He's been through everything, so just the chance to kind of be around that and see what he's all about. Obviously, he's had some talented defensemen, a guy. Obviously, Duncan Keefe, someone that, I can hopefully, play like or have some comparables to that, style of play. So he knows what it's all about, and hopefully, we can gel and make something happen here.
Anytime a coach makes his team go to Vegas during the season and then goes and wins the cup every year with them, I mean, that's a guy you want to play for.
That's a guy I'll block a shot
Never
for.
Cancels a team party. Never. It's like his rule.
So we all played in Florida. We know what to expect. You're gonna, you got the fan base that are there are they love their boys. This is, to me, you guys face off against, Carolina, Tampa, any team in that division really well. Are you looking forward to kind of, I guess, getting out there, feeling what it's like to be in a hunt again, to be in a playoff race? I mean, it must be just a good feeling for you to finally play some games that are worthwhile.
That's what I wanted this whole year. Once we start losing in Buffalo, I was just kind of like, I need to get somewhere and start winning again, or, just that itch for the playoffs. We experienced it in Anaheim. We went to the conference finals, and, ever since then, like I got traded. Buffalo was already out of it. They fire a coach, they fire another coach, and we just couldn't figure it out there, obviously. But the whole point we play is to win and to get that chance, or just that feeling of playoffs again. And I know with or without fans or whatnot this year, but just that intensity and that close to winning it is important. And I think just for me is just so relieved to have that chance again. So, I'm excited just to get started here.
Yeah, I want to mention this. I have a radio show in Edmonton that I talk about, and I talk about, a phone call changing the course of your career. And this phone call you got the other day, you going to Florida, playing on this team, is going to change the path of your career. You have a great opportunity. Another guy that just got traded to you guys, Sam Bennett, who, things in Calgary just aren't working out. He's a high draft pick, a lot of upside to him. Both of you guys are coming into a room now that have a lot of good players, a lot of leadership. Do you know Sam? Is it, I feel like adding two guys like you who've been there both in your prime, they made the right choice, in my opinion. Do you know Bennett? Have you guys spoke at all? Have you played together back in?
No, I don't know him at all. No, obviously playing him in Calgary, we had a couple series against the Flames there, but you guys know him as a player. He's a hard player to play against. He shows up in big moments. So, like you said, I think for us to pick up, some pieces as we did, and it's just exciting to, I don't care who we play coming up. It's just, I think have 13 games left. I just kind of want to get back into a good groove here. I've had a couple of days off. It's weird, having 2-3 days off. It feels like, we're playing every other day. So it feels like you're having like a bye week or something, but just get back into the rhythm, and just go from there.
The old lungs will be barking out there tomorrow morning at the morning skate.
No,
hey,
my lungs. I got plenty. I got plenty of.
You do got. I'd be like, Monty,
out there.
how you still out on the ice, Monty? I don't know how you do it. I'll keep up fucking 20 seconds.
That was
done, but
Brian Campbell when we were in Florida. He'd stay out for 4 minutes.
Yeah, I know.
Well, when you can skate, and Monty, you can skate, but when you can skate, guys can just. It's like it's
a little more efficient.
Well, my mindset too. If I'm dying still and he tells me to get out there, I'm going out there regardless.
Oh yeah, you love it.
Even if I'm sucking wind.
Monty, I wanted to ask you about. You did a quick little stint at UMass Amherst. I wanted you to can you tell these two guys how awesome the college experience is, and how did you end up at UMass? Like, did you think of going to OHL, being from Toronto, Ontario?
Yeah, so when I was younger, I wasn't drafted to the OHL. Played junior B, and then once I went to the USHL right away, UMass was on me, and at that point they weren't that good. But I think just for me being one of the first schools to kind of be contacted by great group of guys, like the coaching staff there. I mean, at that point I didn't know how they coached but just great people. So I mean that was a big thing for me. And then once, as the hype was getting more on me, playing, doing well in Waterloo, went and visit. And then right then I'm like, there's no chance. Like I'm not going to go to the OHL. And I know when I was drafted by Anaheim, they wanted me to go to the OHL. They wanted me to go to London. And at that point, I'm like, I'm going to go to school. I didn't know how long at that point I was going to be there. I figured longer than I was, but I'm not going to decommit and do that. And I'll finish my USHL season and go to school and go from there.
London, not a bad city, Monty. You could have done all right with that.
Oh, that's
you
that
could
was
have
the thing too. It's
you
like,
could have done all right with that head of hair there and that face.
it was close to home. I had a bunch of buddies at Western and Fanshawe, the schools there, and I'm like, this could be either really good or really bad, So I'm like, I'll stay away. Good pro at that age.
Smart. You're smarter than me at that age. I'd be like, I'm going to London. Fucking right. Bring my buddies with me.
But then again, I'm at school too, so same thing. I'm like, I gotta get they're in school. I'm not
Yeah. So we'll give you credit for turning UMass around, Monty. You turned it around.
Monty,
we weren't too good then. That's why I left.
Yeah, but
that's
that starts the process of players like you making the NHL, Monty. People realize like, hey, that's part of the process of getting them school better.
Monty, I'm going to give a shout out to a guy that we all know. He's your owner, Vinny Viola, who is super passionate, West Point guy, really, really intense. But you're going to find that the Florida Panthers have an ownership group that, does a lot for their players and demands like a high intense, delivery on the ice. So when you see him, just know what to expect. He's badass. I mean, he was up. Yeah. He took us to West Point a couple times and really really driven, super successful guy, loves his players. And you'll get that feel when you step into the dressing room, especially in Florida. I mean, the way that they treated the culture there was great for us all the time. So you're in good hands.
That's perfect. Yeah. No, I think anytime it comes from the top all the way to the bottom, I think it just kind of carries through, right?
Yeah. Andy's paying the paycheck. So if you want to stay there for another couple of years after. Yeah. So,
hey, Monty, do you play soccer before the games when you warm up or no? Is that part of your routine?
The odd time I do, depending on how I feel.
Well, the first time you play a soccer game in Florida, you got to go for Hörnqvist for me, okay? Right, Adam? And when you get him, be like, oh, that's from Obie, suck it, horny. But anyways, this kid, I know you played against him a lot. As a defenseman, he's a defenseman's nightmare. This guy was a great pickup for Florida. Just talk about Horny playing against him, and you got to be excited to have a guy like that in your dressing room that you know is going to go to the front of that. You know he's going to tip your shots, and you know he's going to compete.
I know every time I played Pittsburgh, we were always going at it because he's obviously he's a pretty thick boy, and I'm not the biggest defenseman either. So I'm laying cross checks on this guy, and he's coming at me every time. So we had some battles. When I meet him, I'll probably laugh and say, "All right, at least we're on the same team now." So like you said, it's great to have those guys that go right to the net and don't care if they're get hurt or get a cross check to the back.
Yeah, and another guy you're going to love down there, he's front office now on the PR side, is Sean Thornton. I don't know how much you'll be able to see Thornton with COVID and stuff, but if you do, make sure you go introduce yourself to him. And he was one of our best teammates ever, so I'm sure he'll take you for a dinner or whatever. Yeah, he's a good dude. So, Broadway, you got anything else for Monty, kid?
No, that you guys asked some similar questions, and just want to say thanks for coming on the podcast with the boys today.
Perfect. Thanks for having me.
For sure, bud. You're going to love Florida, man. We miss it. We talk about it on here all the time. It's a great place to play. Like I said, you're going to really enjoy the fan base once things open up for the playoff time here because it gets rocking in there.
Where are you living? Are you living right where these boys used to live? Where's your spot?
No, so we went to the hotel Residence Inn in Coconut Creek. So I'm not familiar with the areas, but it's kind of a ways from everything. So the last 2 days there, we went out down to Fort Lauderdale trying to find places, and it's tough. Obviously, Florida's open, so everybody's coming, because of COVID and summertime. So it's tough to find something short term, especially. But I found a nice apartment unit right downtown there, Los Olas or whatever.
Oh yeah, so you're right in the mix.
The market there has gone absolutely bonkers.
You're right in the mix. You can stumble. That's where the Updogg used to live. I got called up. I actually played one home game, but training camp was fun there. You're gonna enjoy it, Monty. Listen, buddy, I'm so happy for you. Get that bucket off and warm up. Get that hair flowing. Get high stepping, and good luck in the playoffs, buddy. We will be watching.
Perfect. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Monty.
Thank you, Monty.
Fellas, DraftKings Sportsbook and DraftKings.com, baby. We are proud to announce our continued tournament Friday night top titty contest, Obes. I think we're starting to figure this thing out.
Updogg, we're getting our mojo, baby. We finally got a nice little finish. It's great. I mean, every Friday I pick my players. You get a little taste of how it is to be a GM. You got to work the salary cap. I take fucking Ryan O'Reilly every week, and he doesn't let me
Get
down.
Your 45 points, and hey, how are you?
It's a lot of fun on a Friday when you have a couple drinks, watch the games. You got to get involved out there. I'm telling you, it's addicting. It's awesome.
Jimmy Scoops.
I've been at the bottom of this DraftKings each week, and I'm trying to be too much of a GM, trying to find the best picks for my value. I think I might have to go your route and start taking the big dogs.
Sometimes you just got to let these guys fly, baby. Let them do the work.
Screw
the
baby.
analytics. Just let them fly. So this tournament, boys, and we are proud to announce that this is available in Canada to all our listeners at www.draftkings.com. Promo code is Curfew Kings.
Download the DraftKings app now and use promo code Curfew Kings to get a shot at millions of dollars in total prizes throughout the week. That's promo code Curfew Kings to get a shot at millions of dollars in total prizes. Only at DraftKings.
Eligible restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
If you're ever broke, you could do that job for a living. Updogg, Scoopsy, thanks to Brandon Montour. A kid that obviously meant a lot to me when I was at the tail end of my career and going to the rink sometimes. It wasn't
shaky.
Yeah, a little shaky. Monty made it fun. Theodore made it fun for me. So a great pickup for Florida. What were your thoughts on? He's got some fucking swag to him, Updogg.
Yeah, great pickup for Florida. Tough loss for Buffalo, but even more of a loss for Anaheim because at one point, they had Monty
and Theo.
Good job, Anaheim. But Obes, you know what, Obes? I like when you get a good guy, like a good young kid on that you played with, that you have good memories with, teaching him the ropes, playing with them, throwing backhand sauce with them, tap-ins, getting that one assist. I never got those assists where I passed the puck in my own zone. The guy would carry it down. Maybe I wasn't playing with good enough players. Yeah. But no, he's a good kid, and I think we touched on it. He's in Florida now. Such a great new opportunity on a team that's highly skilled and super driven this year, with a great coach. And you know what? I look at that situation. I'm super pumped for him. I wish I was on the team still. They're going to have a good playoff run. Florida, South Florida. Oh, so much fun. But no, thanks to him for coming on. Jimbo, I know he's a good college kid that
quick college kid. He only played like 20 games in college.
That's all he needed to. See, that's what happens when Canadians come and play college. It's quick in and out. Thanks for coming. But no, Jimmy, I mean, you touched on it. Like in Florida, this kid, he's going to light it up. He's getting to play with your buddy Jans. Touch on that.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great fit for him in Florida. The way he plays, that team's got some defensemen that can move around, and he's going to add a lot of value to that team. And I thought it was awesome talking to him. He was really well spoken. Obes, and you did a great job grooming this kid because you can tell he's got some swag. You can see that energy in him. He seems really fired up to be a part of a big playoff push that he hasn't been a part of the last 3 years.
Yeah. Thanks, Broadway. I mean, he had that swag from day one. The only thing I would always tell him in San Diego, because he was just so young and horny, he'd get above the puck. And I'm like, listen, if you get ahead of the puck, now you got to skate this way. If you stay under it all night and now you're skating into everyone, they will never stop you. And he was a great kid. He made going to the rink fun for me. And I remember Bob Murray told me when I got first sent down, he's like, if I hear you taking the young kids out, I'll release you right then. So I'm like, all right, fuck, whatever. Found a couple, whatever, guys in the city to muck around with my boy Nico. But then we had our Christmas party, and Monty and Nick Ritchie were finally like, and I finally caved. I said, all right, boys, downtown, here we go. I got a Sprinter van lined up, and nice. The rest is history. So Monty, stay healthy, go get them. Updogg, our sponsors. Couldn't do it without them. Thanks to our sponsors.
DraftKings, GoodLife Clothing, Cannadips. I mean, without them, we're nothing. Without you fans, we're nothing either. So thanks to you guys. Couldn't, like I said, we couldn't do it without you. Yeah. And great show. So thanks.
Yeah, Top Titty League on Fridays. And also, here's your chance to fucking get back at the boys a little bit. If you want to be a good team guy and give us a good review, go ahead. If you want to give us a bad review, fucking bring it on too. So go on to Apple, Spotify, whatever your platform is, and please give us a review.
Chirp the boys.
Let us have
Sometimes we're a little off, Sometimes we're feeling horny. Whatever it is, let us know.
And we're getting a little sensitive in our old age, so be careful what you say. But bring it on. Hazy, Updogg, you guys are the best. Missin Curfew.